Kwebaza oba kulungi okuwadde olwaleero abanaddiini bakristu bannange bonna abalamu olwaleero njagala okwebaza edirekita olw'okujjuta okubeerawo olwaleero olwawo bangi abandibadde wano naye nafuna omukisa ogwogera ngwebaza. Nze Mathias Katamba mbadde nnyina ebyokwogerako era mwebiri mu katabo kano ku peegi 6 ne peegi 7. But I want to beg your indulgence that I may paraphrase, because during the course of the homily, a lot has been spoken so well, so much better than I can present it. But also in a special way, I would like you to give a round of applause to our keynote speaker, Dr. Katamba, for an excellent scholarly presentation. And he was not reading, so he was delivering his work almost as if it was in an academic auditorium, but in such a way with simplicity that we could all very well understand. I was particularly impressed when you went into the phone hacking scandal of the news of the world. That was my own assessment, that truly it was not AI, and that you hadn't been watching the Murdochs on Netflix. But the core message that I have, who is a keynote speaker without, a chief guest without a speech, but as I mentioned, it has been written, so I will just paraphrase through it. The core message comes from Pope Leo XIV, his message that he gave us in January, which has been delivered so well in the homily, and also that has been referred to extremely and exceedingly well by our keynote speaker, and broken down in a way that is so easy to understand. But the main thing is that, as all of us who have been baptized, we have a mandate, a core mandate called to evangelism. And therefore, how we do that evangelism matters, the values that we use to do that evangelism, to spread the love of God. And in the reference that you don't have to be a professional journalist, as we have had, especially now that you have access to a digital communication device in the form of the phone. But one of the key things coming out of the message of Pope Leo XIV is a warning. Is a warning against what AI can do to us. And particularly for all of us who report, the possibility that AI can corrode our creativity and impede our critical thinking. And in the message that is already printed in the magazine, I want to bring out one particular example that you've seen recently in Uganda, where a song had been created by one of our artists. And the song was really trying to take advantage of current, algorithm of social polarization, and how the UCC was able to ban that song as a way of protecting social cohesion. The other area that comes out, as you see, is what artificial intelligence can do to human relationships. When we talk about communication and effective communication, particularly for leaders, and everybody is a leader, we talk about the ability to tell stories. And how in Africa, our culture and the key values of our society have been handed down through the telling of stories. Artificial intelligence impedes our ability to have originality in our communication and human interaction, something that we really need to think about. Social relationships, etc. And so, some of the things we need to think about is, what are we going to do now that AI is here? Rather than fighting it, we all are encouraged to identify and share modalities of professionally using AI to execute tasks and communicate efficiently. In Psalms 145:4, it is said that one generation shall tell your works to another and shall declare your mighty acts. That's what previous generations in our society have done through passing down stories. Therefore, to ensure that we all have something original that will be declared about us, we must become socially responsible, cooperative, and finally remain open to learning. But there's also a role of social responsibility in the development of these models. Even if tech companies might not be here, it is also incumbent on tech companies, legislators, media educators, content creators, and influencers that we all act ethically and transparently. But it also goes in your normal life, as a student, in your workplace, that when you use AI, as you heard from our keynote speakers, acknowledge it, and when it is discouraged, desist from it. Those that develop the models should reevaluate how they train these models. But we must also cooperate. Practically, no single sector can regulate AI. It requires cross-sectional collaboration. Most of us are involved in a way, so let's be mindful. Another action is, for better, is to remain open to learning. Since we are looking at how to survive with AI and human communication, for us to foster responsible digital citizenship and critical thinking, it is important that we teach some basic AI literacy to those among us, because there are many practical applications for artificial intelligence, even if the risks have been identified. But the better, the more we know how to use this technology, because this technology is going to be part of the future. And for us to compete, we must understand how to use it ethically without corroding the capabilities of our society to remain original and authentic. By doing this, we shall protect human dignity and preserve our faces and voices for the common good. I wish you a happy and blessed Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me, and may God be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mathias Katamba.